Hello, students. Have you ever thought about how often we compare things in our everyday life? We're always doing it, right? We talk about which friend is taller or which subject is more interesting. Well, today, we're going to learn how to do this perfectly in English. Just think about it for a second. We say things like, my school bag is heavy, or this story is very nice. But what if you want to compare your bag with your friend's bag, or this story with another one? For that, we need special words. And those words, my dear students, are adjectives. They help us describe and compare everything around us. But here's the interesting part. Adjectives can actually change their form. Yes, they have special forms to show different levels of comparison. We call these forms the degrees of comparison. It sounds a bit technical, but trust me, it's very simple. Let's find out what they are. To compare things correctly, we just need to learn about 3 simple tools. These are called the 3 degrees of comparison. Once you understand them, comparing anything will be so easy for you. So, here they are, our 3 special tools. The first is the positive degree, the second is the comparative degree, and the third is the superlative degree. Now, don't worry about the names. We will look at each one by one, and you will see how easy it is. Okay, let's start with the first one, the positive degree. This is just the basic, simple form of the adjective. We use it when we are not comparing at all. We are just describing one person or one thing. For example, if we say, this is an old man, we are not comparing him to anyone. We are just describing him. Simple, right? Next up, we have the comparative degree. Now this is where the comparison starts. We use this degree when we are comparing exactly 2 people or 2 things. For example, if you look at the picture, we can say, this man is older than the other. See, we are comparing 2 men. And finally, we have the superlative degree. Think of this as the highest level of comparison. We use the superlative degree when we compare more than 2 people or things. For example, if there are many men, we can say, this is the oldest of all. It means he is the oldest in the whole group. So let's do a very quick recap. We use the positive degree, like tall, when there is no comparison. We use the comparative degree, like taller, when we are comparing 2 things. And we use the superlative degree, like tallest, when we are comparing more than 2 things. Is that clear? Good. All right, so now you know when to use each degree. But the next question is, how do we change an adjective into its comparative and superlative forms? Well, there are some simple rules for that. Let's learn them. The first rule is for short adjectives, like tall or small. For these, we simply add er to make the comparative and est for the superlative. So tall becomes taller and then tallest. But for longer adjectives like beautiful or interesting, we don't add anything. Instead, we use the words more and most before the adjective, so it becomes more beautiful and most beautiful. Now, this is a very, very important point. Whenever you use a comparative adjective, you must remember to use the word than right after it. For example, she is taller than him. The word than is what helps us complete the comparison. And here's another important tip. Before a superlative adjective, we almost always use the word the. It's like we are pointing to the one and only. For example, he is the tallest boy in the class. That word the is very important. Sometimes when we add er or est, we have to make a small change in the spelling. Take the word easy. It ends with a y. When we change it, the y becomes an I. So easy becomes easier and easiest. Just something to keep in mind. Now, like in any family, English grammar has some rule breakers. There are a few special adjectives that don't follow our and est rule at all. We call them irregular adjectives. But please don't worry, there are not too many of them, and with a little bit of practice, you will remember them very easily. Let's look at the most common ones. For good, we don't say gooder. No, we say better. And for the superlative, we say best. Similarly, for bad, it becomes worse and worst. It's a good idea to just learn these special ones by heart. But what if 2 people are exactly the same? For example, what if 2 brothers have the same height? For this, we use a special pattern, as. We can say, he is as tall as his brother. And if they are not equal, we can say, he is not so tall as his brother. This is a very useful pattern. Here's an interesting little point. When we talk about people in our own family, especially brothers and sisters, it is common to use the words elder and eldest instead of older and oldest. So you would say, my elder brother, not just my older brother. It's just a special case for family.
Okay, now that we have learned the rules, let's talk about some very common mistakes that students sometimes make. If we know what they are, we can be careful to avoid them.
One of the biggest mistakes is what we call a double comparison. This means using more and er together. For example, some people say more stronger. This is incorrect. The word stronger already means more strong, so you only need to say stronger.
All right, a quick question for you all. Let's think if we are comparing two cities, let's say Delhi and Mumbai. Which degree should we use? How many things are we comparing? 2, right? So we should use the comparative degree. Excellent.
All of you have done so well today. So before we finish, let's quickly summarize everything we have learned. This will be very helpful for you, especially for your exams. So remember these 5 points. 1. Positive degree is for no comparison. 2. Comparative degree is for 2 things, and we must use than. 3. Superlative is for more than 2, and we use the. 4. Always check if the adjective is short or long. And 5. Don't forget our special irregular forms like good, better, best.
And here is my final exam tip for you. It's very simple, but very important. Before you choose an answer, always read the complete sentence. The sentence itself will give you a clue. It will tell you if you are comparing 2 things or more than 2 things. So, now you are all experts in comparing things. I want you to go and practice. Think about your favorite subject. Is it more interesting than another subject? Or is it the most interesting of all? Keep practicing and you will become perfect. Well done, everyone.